One of the best things you can do to manifest no matter what happens is to assume that your manifestation is coming no matter what happens. That's the best thing you can do. It's like we always tend to jump to conclusions so fast when it comes to situations happening in our life. It's like, oh, the friend didn't message me back, so that means they don't like me. Or like, I didn't get the money, so that means I'm not gonna get the money. Or like, this happens, so that means I'm not gonna get the manifestation. It's like, why do we assume so quick? Because actually what happens is the old stories come back and pull us into the old reality. And so the key is to let go of these stories and step into the new reality and realize that we do not have to be defined by our previous subconscious programming. We can step into a new reality. And so in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you why you should assume that your manifestation is coming no matter what, which will help you to manifest what you desire in your life in a much more powerful way. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. So the first thing I want to share with you is that your external reality does not matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Maybe your bank account's going empty, maybe the person didn't text you back, maybe this situation's happening. None of it matters unless you think that it does. Because if you think that it does, then it does. If you think that it doesn't, then it doesn't. It only matters if you think it does. So if you assume that the external world happening in a way that goes against your manifestation has nothing to do with actually anything in regards to you going like you thinking that it's going against your manifestation, is it going against your manifestation? If you assume that it doesn't go against your manifestation, well, then it doesn't, because the external reality doesn't matter. What matters is the internal groundedness that you have within yourself. So maybe the person didn't message you back. Maybe you didn't close the sale. Maybe the business opportunity didn't go in the way that you expected it to. None of it matters. It doesn't matter. If you let it matter, well, then it does matter. Do you see how if something happens and then you say, you know what, doesn't matter, let it go, and then you move on and keep assuming that the manifestation's coming anyway? That's what helps you to manifest. And you see how if you think that it matters and you fall into doubt, you fall into fear, you fall into worries, well then of course it's not going to manifest. And you're thinking, Francis, how can I make sure I don't fall into fear? It can just be as simple as to choose to just assume that it's going to come no matter what. It can just be that simple. It's like sometimes I think that we have more of a power and a choice to make here than we think. Like falling into fear is like something you can let yourself do, you know? But if you become conscious of it, you're like, oh wow, I don't like this energy, this is weird. What you can do is you can actually just choose to not feed into that story. And it might be hard, but like sometimes you can. Other times it won't work. Other times you can't just assume that, you know, it's like it's not that easy. But it just, you could, even despite the fear that you feel, like even if you feel negative emotions, you can still just like assume like, hey, you know what? External reality doesn't matter. Because I'm not saying fear won't come up, you know? Fear may come up. You might feel anxieties, you might feel worries, you might feel negative emotions. But like what you can do is you can just assume that it doesn't matter. Even your own internal emotions can also be something that doesn't matter too. I mean, of course it does, but like if you're already feeling something, well then just assume that it doesn't matter. Nothing in the external matters. Now, external technically does also mean your internal emotions to some degree, but we'll get to that later. But like for now, just assume that like your internal is separate from the external, even though they're all connected, but we'll get to that later, probably in another video, to be honest. I don't know if we're gonna get into that into this video. But understand that if the person doesn't text you back, doesn't matter. You didn't get the money, doesn't matter, still coming. You didn't get this opportunity, doesn't matter. Job interview didn't go well, doesn't matter. This didn't happen in the way that my mind thought it would go, doesn't matter. How do you know, let me ask you this, how do you know that situation is perfectly happening to bring you to the manifestation. How do you know that's not the case? How do you know? How can you be so quick to assume that because this situation happened, like you didn't get the job, that I'm not going to get the job that I want? How do you know? How do you know? Whose voice is speaking when you make that assumption? Your old patterns. That's not you. That's not you. That's your old subconscious mind trying to pull you back into the old reality, convincing you why you're not going to get the job, when the truth is the universe could have been perfectly conspiring and rearranging things to get you the job, and the first step was to get rejected in the interview, and that could have led to the perfect job. How do you know? So be conscious of the assumptions that you make and realize that the external world does not matter unless you actually decide that it does. Now, the second thing I want to share with you is that the most important thing is not the external world, but the internal alignment and the assumptions that you make. So when I said earlier that your emotions don't matter, they do matter to some degree. But if you're already feeling something, just accept it, allow it to be there, and assume that it has nothing to do with your manifestation. Because even the assumption that a negative emotion is going to just dictate whether you manifest could already be a step in the wrong direction. But understand that with that being said, if you feel negative emotion, assume that it doesn't matter. But the ideal is to gain control over your feelings and your emotions, and this will actually increase the likelihood of you manifesting. Now, if you fall to a lower energy, of course, that is okay. You are a human being. I am a human being. We are occasionally going to feel negative emotions, but you can also assume that it doesn't matter if you feel them sometimes. But don't let that be a permission slip to not actually work on your feelings and your vibration. Because if you say like, oh, it doesn't matter, it doesn't. You could still manifest without changing your emotions, but you can manifest a lot better if you do. So don't just use it as a reason to not work on your vibration. Think, oh, it doesn't matter. I don't need to change my emotions. Realistically, you don't. You don't. You can still manifest without changing your emotions. You can manifest at the lowest vibration you've ever been in your life. But I personally think that raising your vibration, raising your frequency does align you spiritually and align you with the universe and your higher self and the divine to bring you closer to the manifestation once the vibrational alignment actually kicks in your reality. So understand that the external world doesn't matter. What matters is your internal energies and the assumptions that you have. So assumptions can be just changing the assumptions even if you feel negative emotion. But if you get to a higher state of being, your assumptions still matter too. So it's like, why not just use both? Why not raise your consciousness, raise your vibration, and assume that negative emotions don't matter? That's a recipe for manifestation. It's like some people think, oh, just focus on the vibration. Or no, vibration doesn't matter, focus on this. Why not bring the two together? Why not bring these two? Like, law of attraction community likes to separate themselves. Some people just do vibration, some people just do story, and they change the affirmations. Why not bring the two together? Why not focus on your internal alignment and your vibration and increase your consciousness and increase your state of being, and also change the stories that you think and change the assumptions that you have about reality? I think that if you merge these two things together, there's absolutely nothing that you cannot manifest. You can manifest anything that you want. I'm pretty sure I said that the right way, the double negative. You can manifest anything that you want. You can manifest anything that you want if you bring these two things together. Focus on your internal alignment, your energies, your consciousness, your alignment with the present moment. Don't let fear consume you. Let love guide you, not fear. Be in spiritual alignment with the present moment and let go of stories. You don't even need to have stories. Trust in the feeling of the present moment and change your assumptions and your stories. It's like, wait, Francis, you just contradicted yourself. Yeah, why not work with them together? Why not bring the two together? Why choose one over the other? Why do we have to create separation? Why not use affirmations? Use the power of our mind and the power of our thinking, and let go of thinking entirely as well, and connect to the present moment and align with your spiritual energies. How about this? How about you let go of thinking entirely, connect to the present moment, raise your vibration, and then from that space, change your assumptions. Change what you assume. I think that's a beautiful recipe to manifest what you want. Now, last thing I want to share with you in regards to this video is I want you to remember this very important piece of information, which is that the people that assume that the manifestation is not coming are the people that fail. If they assume that it's not coming, then they fail. The people that lose faith when things fall apart in the external, those are the people that do not manifest. You see, if you just assume that this situation happening is a direct correlation in regards to your manifestation not coming, well then of course, what do you think is going to happen? How can it go any other way? You are creating your reality when you say that to yourself. If you say to yourself, oh man, this is not working, I'm just going to give up. I keep trying to get this apartment. I keep trying to get this situation, but it's it's not working. Maybe the universe is, maybe this isn't meant for me, right? Maybe the universe is trying to show me a sign. Hey, maybe, but is it also possible that you saying that to yourself is blocking the manifestation? And don't get me wrong, I think that the universe does show us signs. I think that the universe does guide us in a certain direction. I think that there is sometimes the universe literally telling you a sign, stop going in that direction, go in this direction instead. At the same time though, do you see how that can also take away your power and make you realize that you are not the conscious creator of your reality? So it's like, how can we merge the two together? Like I always say, why not use both? Why not trust your higher self, trust your intuition, trust your vibration, trust your alignment, but then also realize that in some areas of your life, the signs mean nothing and you are in fact the conscious creator of your reality. You see, these things might seem like they contradict each other, but I think that if we can find the balance of both, at least that's what I do in my life right now, I think that we can manifest anything that we desire into our lives in a much more powerful way. So the thing that you can do is understand that the people that lose faith are the ones that do not manifest. The people that think that the manifestation is not coming are the ones that do not manifest. The people that remain in faith, that remain in the assumption and persist, Neville Goddard talks a lot about this, that the manifestation is coming. Neville Goddard talks about this a lot. I think that's how you say his name. I don't know if I pronounced that properly. This is the key to manifest what you want. Because if you just assume that it's not coming, then it's not coming. You need to have faith. You need to have faith if you want to manifest what you want. Because if we lose faith, if we lose that connection that we have to ourselves, how can you manifest what you want? Like, your emotional state doesn't matter. It does matter. I know I'm contradicting myself here. Raise your vibration, do what you can. But it's like, even if your state drops down, don't let that be a deciding factor in terms of if your manifestation is coming or not. Don't let your emotions decide. Don't let your external reality decide. Let the deepest part of who you are decide. The part of you that knows that no matter what, you are the conscious creator of your reality. Because if you can actually have it within you to not be attached to what's happening in the external, including sometimes even your emotional state, and you can have the faith within you to know that the manifestation is in fact coming no matter what, that is what allows people to manifest. The people that assume that this situation is blocking me, get blocked. Have faith and persistence and assume that it is coming no matter what, and eventually it will. Just trust that. Don't let your emotions get the better of you. Don't let your state of being convince you. Like if you're in a lower state of being, raise your consciousness. But if you drop down, still trust that it is coming. Don't let the fear consume you. Don't let the anxieties consume you. Don't let any of that define your reality, and watch how it will come eventually. Only when you trust and know that it is coming no matter what, and that it is going to actually fall into your reality no matter what happens in the external. So that's all I have for this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. And as always, have yourself a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.